Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Bronze Reaper podcast. I'm your host, Rosalind Perkins, and today we got a great show today. Um, why can't Black Americans delineate but everybody else can? That's very important, and this is a topic that we should have talked about probably months ago. Um, I want to say this before we even start. Like and subscribe, comment in the live chat. If you're new to this, definitely subscribe because we're about to go subscribers only. And if you're not a subscriber, you can't be in a live chat and say what you want to say. I want to say this. A lot of this came from. I'm gonna be personally honest. A lot of this delineation And what's going on, Fresh Always? Good morning, good morning. A lot of this comes from what's the word? Neglection. The government neglecting us, neglecting our civil rights, neglecting our problems, neglecting a lot of things. So a lot of this comes from neglect. I do feel like people are starting to understand now that, you know what, if you're going to start neglecting Black Americans, a lot of Black Americans is going to push back. If you talk amongst us, I mean, if you talk about us in if you talk about Black Americans and Black Americans gives this big pushback, then you kind of deserve it. You kind of deserve a lot of things. Um, is a lot of it is a lot of it right? No. Well, yes, a lot of it that we do. A lot of y'all deserve it. We will be jumping into the topic question in within 5, 10, 15. I mean, 15 to 20 minutes. Sorry, I was late. I was making myself a cup of mushroom coffee. But yeah, I will say this. I do believe this is long overdue. I think Black Americans probably should have done this 50, 60 years ago. When my mama and my daddy were young. My daddy's 60. My mama 54. Yeah, my mama like 64, so 54, 55. My mama what 17 years older than me. She's like 56, 57. Yeah, 56, 57. I just turned 21. Yeah. So yeah, this is long overdue, and I feel like a lot of people should accept the new norm. And it's delineated. You know, this week Tasha K had to figure this out the hard way. Because somebody called her husband a booty scratcher. An African booty scratcher. I was called African booty scratcher yesterday driving. Hold on. Yeah, I was called an African booty scratcher driving yesterday. So I know how you feel, Tasha K. I know how you feel. I laughed at it though. That's me. I laughed at it. Somebody called me an African booty scratcher yesterday. So yeah, it was crazy, but I almost crashed because he called me one. So, but yeah, it's I I'll tell people this. What's actually going on in this world now? I don't want to say it's a distraction, but it is something we should think about. We should think about, okay, with Black Americans, how can I fix this situation? How can I figure out, you know, nah, never mind. I wouldn't even tell them to do that. Try to have some type of understanding, because you know what, they do understand. I'm not gonna act like Africans and immigrants don't understand what Black Americans is doing. You know, Black Americans has been open. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest. I I think Black Americans, also known as foundational Black American, has been the most inclusive people. Like I said, in the modern era. I put the words in the wrong place, but we have been the most inclusive out of everybody. And for people to attack us because we don't want to help them no more, or we don't, we don't want to, be on their side. This is where entitlement comes from. a lot of this entitlement is a headache. To me, it's a headache because at the end of the day, on this show, on other shows, we repeat the same thing over and over and over, and they act still to this day act like they don't get it. They act like they don't get it. But I will say this: do we got some mean people? Absolutely. We have some mean people, but at the end of the day, that's our culture. We always have been a joking culture, a non-serious culture. So for a lot of these immigrants to do that, I do take offense to it. And the reason why I say I do take offense to it because um Im- immigrants, they didn't have nobody backing them up from the 1940s and I mean 1950s and down. I have seen in history, like we have seen in history, other Africans turn on other Africans for the white supremacists. Everybody always talk about is Abraham Torah, but nobody never talks about the guy who created Burkina Faso. Nobody never talks about him. They didn't talk about how his good friend turned his back and killed him, then threw him in a unnamed ditch or unmarked ditch. And they're just finding him 10 years ago. They found his body 10 years ago. This guy is still living, but he lives in Ivory Coast. He had to run out of Burkina Faso. They don't tell us stories like that. So it's, and don't forget, he was the president or the leader of Burkina Faso. He was the first one, but his own people killed him when he was at war. Why do FBAs think that anybody cares that we know African descent? Because you're on my show. Be active. You're bitching and moaning on my show. You're crying. Yeah, she apologized because you know what? She lost 30,000 subscribers within 24 hours. That's a lot of people, man. So, and I'm gonna say this, Gullery. We use the small hats routine. Yeah, we use the small hats routine. You talk about this, there's gonna be consequences. Shout out to the small hats because we use their routine. We had to. She's out here, yo. She almost got sued out here talking about people. People was a movement and it's like the KKK. You know what type of yeah, 30 subscribers. Yeah, because I don't think this is the thing, Gallery. I don't think Tasha K don't know how much Black Americans support her, even though she's a gossip channel. We always support her. I didn't know she was Caribbean, even though I would still support her. But now she got that. She felt a little bit of heat. She's like, "Yo, you know what? Let me just give that apologize. Let me give that apology." Even don't forget, Black Americans came on there and tell them like, "Yo, I identify as foundational Black American, and I have always supported you." What you did was you target every Black American. You target every Black American that don't believe in the same ideology as you, and you fucked up. You fucked up Tasha K. And I think to me, a lot of people don't think Tasha K is beautiful. I think she's sexy. I'm gonna be personally. I do think Tasha K's got and it's probably her little fun bags, her big fun bags. That's what I like. But I think she's attractive. With her little short, her short butch haircut. Nobody in the right mind would never ever think to unite with the master's house pet breed. Black Snow Bunny King. Do you have something against Black Americans? This is what Black. Everybody, I want y'all to pay attention. This is Snow Bunny King. I mean, this is Black. Black. What's his name? Be active. This is what he says about Black Americans. No, nobody in their right mind would never ever would think to unite with the master's house pet breed. He's talking about Black Americans. This is why I say, yo, with these cosplaying Latinos, no. Let these motherfuckers get deported. All jokes aside, let them get deported. This is be active right here. This is the black and brown unity that he wants. This is the black and brown unity that he wants. And this is why I say it will never work. It would never work. You just got to handle your own shit. We could all be friends, but helping each other, no, absolutely not. This is what I am talking about. And I'm glad everybody's seeing this. No, you're not. Be active. You're not gonna hide your racism for Black Americans under the FBA cloak. Don't lie. You're a liar. You just don't like Black Americans. Just say it. It's all right. Why you? Why y'all think yeah, see, look at everybody. I'm glad everybody's paying attention. You see how he delineated so fast? This is what you call delineation right here. We Puerto Rican, we can never ever be deported. That's why I said what I said, be active. This is why I said what I said. I'm gonna tell you, I baited you. You dug your own hole. This is why I said what I said. That's why I said what I said. Yes, they are be active. Who are you to tell what a Black American is? You had to flee your little island to come to a country that was already built by Black Americans. Yeah, he is. He's a bacalao baby, So it's understanding, That's. I'm glad we have channels like this. This is why I have channels where what I read I read the stream. This is great. You know, be active trying to tell Black Americans who they are. He's trying to tell us who we are. That's some white man shit. Be active. Yeah, your Hispanic side is coming out. Your conquistador side is coming out. This is why be active. This is why I always tell people all the time. I love Puerto Ricans. I love Puerto Ricos, but I would never defend them. I would never defend them. I won't. And it's not that I don't like. I just don't trust y'all. I don't trust y'all. I love y'all. I fucks with y'all. Yo, you need a cup of sugar, you know, or I'll go to your house. Yo, let me get some of that Puerto Rican coffee. The one with the red and yellow bag. Thank you. But just defending you, it's not my spot. It's not my place. It's not my place. It would never be my place. It would never be my place. That's why I stay out that shit. But when it comes to this Black American shit, this foundational Black American space, be active. You shouldn't have nothing to say. You should have nothing to say. Yeah, I know I said that. You know why? Because I wanted to bait you in. I'm gonna show you. This is why I had to show you delineation is serious. This delineation is serious. You see how you just say, like, yo, I'm Puerto Rican. I can't get deported. I said that so you can say what you want. So you can say I'm Puerto Rican. So you can delineate from Black Americans. So you can delineate for the Black diaspora. That's why I did that. And you, it was easy like the Easy Mac. 1, 2, 3, baby. Come on. You did that, be active. Give me a second, everybody. But yeah, be active. I debated you. I baited. I mean, sorry, I baited you into saying what you said. Puerto Rica's billion. No, no, you haven't. Be active. You have not. And at the end of the day, I showed you the history. I showed you the history. I've been showed you that history. And this is where you have a problems with Black Americans. You always had a problem with Black Americans, and you know what? And it's all right. It is all right. Be active, because you know what's gonna come next. They're gonna revoke your rights to come into this country sooner or later. They're gonna give y'all your own independence, like independence where y'all have to take care of yourselves. Real talk. Yeah, that's what's gonna end up happening. You don't think it has happened before? It has happened. So like at the end of the day, I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. But at the end of the day, the way how y'all are going, I think it's gonna happen. Real talk, be active. It's gonna come to a point where where America is gonna be like, yo, we don't want these folks in here. Let's give them back their own give them back their own country. Let them survive on their own. You know, will America take a loss? They'll take a big hit, but I'll say this: it can recover. And the reason why I say it will recover because, like I said, with reparations around the corner, I think another 3 4 years, Black Americans will get reparations, and I'm praying. I'm praying that reparation happens before my grandmother passes away. Just to say everything that she has done wasn't out of vain. You know, you did not. Yes, I did be active. I knew you was gonna say, "Oh, we're Puerto Rican. We can't get deported." I'm showing you that this delineation. Do you see how Black Americans didn't say like, "Oh, yo, that's divisive. That's dividing all of us." You see how Black Americans didn't say that, or foundational Black Americans, or if you want to be consider yourself African American, if you're Pan African, you didn't see how Black Americans didn't say that. But when Black Americans say, "Yo," some of us will say like, "Yo, we're not African. We're a whole new ethnic group." and everybody gets all upset about that. But you can say, "Oh yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm not really African. I'm Puerto Rican." You know, you see that, right? Or are you gonna lie again? Be a Latino, not a Latino. Be a Latino. So can you tell the truth? And I'm gonna say this: the lady, what's her name? Angela Castro, and she used to be an adult entertainer. I have done reaction videos on her in the past. And she told y'all should be kissing the ass of black Americans because they fought for all these rights. Like collectively, we fought for all these rights. Even when they didn't benefit black Americans. I is this guy a fucking idiot? I just told him I know that all of that. I said I know all of that, but I showed you how delineation is a it's not a problem to you, but it's always a factor when it comes to black Americans. And when I say a factor, it's always a prime example um of making us uh, um a target. Yeah, future kids will be. I don't know. Be active. I will tell you this. I don't know the way how y'all going. They're gonna kick y'all niggas out the country sooner or later. People have been. You gotta understand. Be active. A lot of ethnicity. There have been ethnicities that got kicked out of countries. Nigeria got kicked out of a lot of countries. Small hats got kicked out of a lot of countries. Um, who else? Certain Asian people got kicked out of a lot of countries. Like Thai people kicked. I mean, the Cambodians kicked the Thai out the country. Yes, these two small motherfuckers fighting. Yeah, these group of small motherfuckers fighting. Yeah, they got kicked out. Now let me ask you a question, Be actor. You don't think you could get kicked out? Niggas is kicking out Haitians. You don't think they will kick you out? I'm just asking you a question. And I know it's a TPS situation, but you don't think you can get kicked out, Be actor? Like if they pass a law like, yo, should we keep these motherfuckers in this country? Because at the end of the day, the only person who doesn't really benefit off of this immigration thing is the Puerto Ricans. They don't care. They don't care because they're citizens. They have the CIA infiltrated. I'm gonna say this: the CIA infiltrated your country and took your country. You didn't sign no treaty; they took it. No, be active. That's strike two. And the reason why I'm giving you strike two because I can't keep on having you pass false narratives. I can't have you pass false narratives. That's strike two. You know, like I'm not gonna have you do that on the show. I can have you troll. I can have you be racist to black people because you are racist. It's all right. You are a racist to black Americans, and you're Puerto Rican. You know, but I can't have you pass false narratives. That's strike two. The first one is because when you say FBAs are not black Americans and African Americans, then what the fuck are they? What is their ethnicity then? Be active if they're not if they're not black Americans or African Americans, as you like to call them. What are they? What did the Germans? What are they? So now that's why I said that's strike one. Strike two is just what you just did. But everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the live chat. Um, This is a subscribers only. So subscribe, 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 and also don't forget to share. Share to five people. What's going on, Convo? Salute, salute, salute. Share to five people. Share for five platforms. Share to two, if or and or do two platforms, three people, or three platforms, two people. Just equal five because five is my favorite number. It's actually 41, but when you do one plus four equals five, it's still to me like 41. So shout out to Convo. All Puerto Ricans have 10 generations of being Americans and independence. No, that's not true, be active. But okay. Okay. Yeah, let me tell. Do you really want to be honest? Now, let me ask you a question, be actor. When did Puerto Ricans really, really hit New York? New York, you are very big in New York. When has Puerto Ricans collectively hit New York? That's a question. And I'm gonna see if you could be honest. Let's see if you could be honest. You're not answering the question. I need you to answer the question. Cause you know what? I'm I don't probably a foundational black American, I think I support Puerto Ricans more than most people. When has when did the Puerto Rican migration happen? I can tell you. I know. That's why. I'll just tell you. In the 40s and 50s, be active. What's going on, Monster McFly? Salute, salute, salute. Um, but they started in the 40s and 50s. That's when the scale of them came in. You had to look it up. Yes, I know. Be active. You had to look it up. You had to look it up. You're not Spaniard. Be all right. I'm gonna have to sit you down for a little bit. Be active. He always has to tether himself into. He always has to tether himself into like the Spaniards, and it irks me. It irks me when he does this. You know, he does that. He does it all the time. I have to put you in timeout just for 10 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes because you're not too bad today. You know, and Black Americans is a second wave from. I know you had to look it up. I already did it. I sat him down for 10 minutes. He just needs 10 minutes just to relax. I don't like him spamming the live chat. Um, and like I get it, but it was the 40s and 50s. That's when they really hit the migration. But it was more of a They wasn't really there in the 1910s. Were there some there? Yes, there were some in New York in the 1910s. You know, that's something I would never disagree with that he did say. Yes, they were there. There were some there in the 1910s because some of their culture was there, but a lot of us didn't really fuck with the culture like that. That's why they'll be like they're the first Afro Latino or African, no Afro Latino or first Puerto Rican. You know, Fresh always said, "Go sit down, come back later." Like he's not like some of the stuff he's not wrong, but it's just like he's trying to infiltrate his culture into some culture that's not his. You know, and I'll say this: in 1910, did they fuck with African? Did they fuck with Black Americans? Some of them did. Some of them we did business with. So it is where he's at. Oh, he's mad at me. Everybody, give me a second. I'm gonna go check on my little one just to see if he's not breaking anything or breaking my eggs. The dude broke my egg carton. Give me a second. All right, I'm back, everybody. I had to go check my little one, man. I heard he broke a carton of eggs. This is the second carton he broke. I did see Shabaka and that tether. Yeah, was it Javon Bernice or whatever? He's a cornball. He knows he's a cornball. He's always trying to parasite his way onto a Black American culture. Javon Chats. Like, he probably is a good person in real life, but as a person who does podcasting or streaming, he's a piece of shit. Every like my real issue with him is that he feels that Black Americans can't do it without the Latinos. Like, my nigga, are you serious? We built this country by ourselves. You still have struggle countries. Like, what is you talking about? Like, let's not act like most of these Puerto Ricans would rather live in fucking the south side of Chicago than to live in fucking their country. Like, nigga, for some Brazilians, that's might be fucking heaven for them. Like, damn, at least I could get a little bit of sleep and I don't have to be like, fucking vicious. You might have to be a savage, but at least you're not like Sid Vicious, nigga. You're not Sid Vicious out here. So who if y'all want to know who Sid Vicious is, Sid Vicious, there's two Sid Vicious. There's Psycho Sid Vicious, the wrestler, and Sid Vicious, the I think he was a heavy metalist. So yeah. Um, yeah, it's. I would say this, man, and this is why I have been saying for the last 2 years. I wish, and I honestly wish that my family never fought for immigrations for a lot of these immigrants. I'm just being honest because look what we get. Look at the people that we do get when they come to this country. Do we get some good people? Yes. But a lot of these people are very not even appreciative of what Black Americans have done for them. You know, was some of this stuff what's the word? Was a collective thing? Yes. Some of this stuff was a collective effort. But it's rare. I'll tell you, it's very rare. And I'm sad to say this, most white people help more than a lot of these Latinos and Africans put together. You know, like for facts, the Black Panther Party, civil rights. Um, I don't like to throw Black Lives Matter because I don't really consider them a I don't consider I don't really think that they really help Black Americans. Um, but I will say this: but some movements that did work when it had some Caribbeans and Africans and all this other stuff is the Hebrew Israelites, and that's a bloodline. You know, Puerto Rico. That's Latinos, natives, and blacks. Uh, and Caribbeans. I like to throw Caribbeans because when we say black, it's not black is not a flat blanket statement. So that's one thing. Sooner or later, that the that's if they're gonna do it. I think the Hebrew Israelite might have to change that, and they might have to change black Caribbeans, Puerto Rico. I mean, blacks, Caribbeans, Latinos, and natives. I think that that's what they're gonna have to say, in sooner or later, because it's a different ethnic group. But what else? Like I said, it's their own ethnic group, and I do believe, like one thing, the Hebrew Israelites they do disagree to a certain extent with reparations because they believe that there's no debt in the world that you can pay for the murder and massacre and genocide of Black Americans. That is true. I do agree with that, but you got to start somewhere. You got to start fulfilling something. Trying to solve this problem. So it comes, like I said, it comes to a point in time where they're gonna have to come and they might have to change that. I get it. You know me. I get it. But I think they will have to change. They're gonna sooner or later change. It, they're gonna have to change it sooner or later. And you know me, they don't have to. I get what they're talking about. Um, what's going on, Ray Ray? Shout out to you. Put the sandals where you said yeah, yo, this reparation, yo, this delineation shit got serious, man. And like I said, it got serious because they wasn't really talking properly for us. You know, I don't think a lot of these immigrants that cosplaying or identify as a black man understood the seriousness of reparations for Black Americans. That's why on Friday we're gonna get into a real good conversation where we talk about give me a second, everybody. We're gonna get into a good conversation where we talk about should white America support reparations? Like right now it does sound stupid, like nah, we shouldn't support it. No, like white people, they can be like, nah, we shouldn't support it. But then after that, if they really kind of look at it, if you're an American, if you know you could build this economy with a race of people who built this country, and you know that they can build the economy, why wouldn't you give them all this money? So this is the conversation we will have on Friday, and I think I'm doing shots Friday. This Friday, so we will be taking shots, and I might even have my neighbor up here. He Puerto Rican too. Show him that we talk crazy because he always asks me, "What the fuck am I doing up here? Now, how do niggas out here get busy and stuff?" Like, yeah, yeah, it's like, yo, niggas talk crazy out here. Yeah, niggas really talk crazy out here. Like, I always tell people all the time, like, I tell Latinos all the time, they're like, yo, Rosalie, can I watch your show? I was like, you don't want to watch it. These niggas is vicious out here. these are savages, you know. They love their culture. So, like, really? Well, yeah, Yeah. One white lady's like, "Yo, I want to watch your show." I was like, "No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't." But hey, if you could find it, you could watch it. You know, my shit is I saw my audience is getting very very big. My subscribers are getting very very big. So it's like, yo, we're all good people and stuff. We all support people. We got people that we support. Like I always tell people all the time, I support Latinos achievement, but not off the backs of Black Americans. I don't think we should help. If it's an achievement, why the fuck am I helping? You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, yeah. Is it stay safe? No, man. Stay safe out there. Yeah, stay safe out there. Be active. Hey, be active. No spamming, man. You can write. You could stop copying and pasting and spamming, man. It's too much, man. I can't read all of that. I asked you one question and you're writing me a whole fucking novel about Puerto Ricans in New York. Jesus. Yo, be active. I'm showing you be active. This is why you hate, and you might not admit it, but you hate black people. It's all right. You know, there's black people that hate black people. You know, and it's all right. I know you hate black people. You know, you don't think be active. Let me ask you a question. You don't think I met somebody like you before? You don't think I met anybody like you? Like let's be honest. You don't like black people, so what? You know, I don't want to hear. Oh yeah, we worked hard together. We did this together. Nah, my nigga, you don't like black people. It's all right. Be active. I'm not still. I'm not saying you can't come on the show because you hate black people. You can hate black people and be on the show. It's cool. But if you're gonna be writing all this stuff, I'm gonna have to tell you you're gonna have to give a donation now. I don't need you spamming. This is too much to be active. You know, I don't want to hear the. It's a lot to be like active. It's a lot to understand. It's a lot to, as a local of the drugs hospital. It's for the 46 days. That's cool in a be active. I don't care, but let's start the show, everybody. So we got the first one we're gonna watch because be active. You're just doing too much, man. You're like, yeah, you're running my patience, my man. All right. I'm gonna play this video. I'm still listening. I just gotta go check on the little one. This nigga be bugging out. You know, I love my son, but he bugs out. But this one is on the Rap Crew, and they were talking about why people hate delineating. Why is it always an issue when Black Americans delineate from everybody? So definitely, I will come back if I catch something. I will stop it and come back and break it down.
You think it's divisive or you think it's necessary?
Again, I grew up in East Flatbush, who was every single person in East Flatbush delineates. I don't understand. The Trinis have their flag. When I used to be at the parties, okay? I used to be at the parties jumping up with the American flag. Everybody has they have songs about it. Jump and wave. Jump and wave. What are you waving? Your flag. Everybody comes with their own flag. So this conception or this new thing that people are saying that it's divisive, I'm completely confused as
She's right. Black Americans was at the party supporting the Caribbeans culture. We were having a good time. I was having a good time with the dirty wine, with the TOK music, with the Pond the River, Pond the Bunk. Yeah, we was out here getting busy, you know? And it's not like, I'll say this. I'm not saying that there was. I'm not saying this is unity. I'm just saying this is just us all having a great time with Caribbean cultures coming. I mean, with Caribbean culture. I mean, everybody supporting Caribbean culture. I don't see no problem with that. I think that's a great thing. I think that's a very beautiful thing. So I don't think we should I don't think we should take that away from Caribbeans, but we can't act like that's not a form of delineation. We can't act like that's not a form of delineation. That is delineation. That is what delineation is. So it's she's right.
To why it's divisive, because where I grew up, everyone had their flag and everyone respected everybody's flag. It was like,
Hmm.
oh word, that's where you from. Oh word, that's where you from. You know what I'm saying? How many? I told y'all before. I would be on you Eastern Parkway from with red, white, and blue from head to toe. They calling me Miss America, Miss America, Miss America. Why? Because I always represented in a sea full of Caribbeans. I always represented where I was from. So delineation is in and where we're
Again, be active. Do I got to sit you in timeout again? Do I got to sit you in timeout again? You can't keep on saying FBA is FBAs are not Black American or I don't like the term African American. I think that's a blanket. I don't like the term African American. African American, the word that term is dead. I'll say this. Be active. You wouldn't even get along with Black Americans. There we go. They're not African descent. Be active. They're not. Well, let me take that back. I'm gonna take that back because you are right. Everybody comes from Africa. Be active. You come from Africa. White man comes from Africa. The Asian man comes from Africa. The Latinos come from Africa. My Puerto Rican wife made me chicken and waffles last night. Ooh, that sounds good. Ooh, you gotta make me go get some chicken and waffles tonight. Let me tell you what it is, Ray Ray. I think eating chicken and waffles, let me tell you what makes it special. It's not how you eat it, it's when do you eat it. When you eat it at night, it's kind of it feels different. So that is super dope. So shout out to the Puerto Rican wife of Ray Ray. Like this is the thing. FBAs, we don't hate nobody. That's the thing. We're not the ones, actually pushing the hate. Only thing we're pushing is delineation. We're pushing to be our own ethnic group, and I think be active. You have a problem with that. Let me ask you a question. Be active, and I would let you come up here, but you're broke. You know me. I don't like talking to broke people, and yeah, you're broke. You could talk money shit, but we know you're faking. You're cosplaying of being a money man. You know. Oh, speaking of money, thank you. Be active. I forgot to put up my joints, but let me let this play. Go on.
at right now, again, I'm gonna bring it back to politics, right? Because of the politics, because we have a Westmore, because we have a Byron Donalds, because we have a Kamala Harris, because we have because we got a Barack Obama, because we have had all of these people infiltrate our American politics as Black people, cosplaying as American Black people, the delineation is absolutely and positively necessary. As a matter of fact, we will be reintroducing along with the U.S. Freedmen Project. We will be reintroducing. Shout out to our champion assembly person, Nikki Lucas. Please vote for her. So we will be reintroducing our delineation bill. That way, we could have this down. See, as they try to say, that we're only online. No, we do work in real life, in politics. That's what we are concerned about. This is not a conversation that we're only having online. We're introducing a bill that we can delineate and know who we are in this state. You know, we have reparations hearings as, well, they stopped the hearings, but there's a reparations commission that is currently just got an extension of two more years, right? And so this discussion about reparations, and it's based on an unconstitutional bill. And why is it unconstitutional? It's unconstitutional because it is race-based. So we have people in another thing, we have people in our politics that are pushing for race-based solutions in a world where race-based is not going to work. Okay, it's not going to work because it's unconstitutional, and it doesn't work. We see that when things happen, like Lovely just talked about, and we talked about the fact that these foreign businesses or immigrants are allowed to get certain set-asides that we're not allowed to get. So there are things that are happening. So if there's something for minorities, Kathy Holcomb just released, I think it was a few months ago, I think she gave out, was it $16 million to a historically black neighborhood? But there's not many historically black people living there anymore. It's a bunch of immigrants. So we see
So be active. Since I'm not a black American, what am I? And if you can't answer the question, be active, I'm gonna have to sit you down. If I'm not black American, what am I? I'm asking. Hurry up. You're the one who said it, so I need you to answer this question, be active. And you know what? I'm gonna put this on this other side over here. I like that, like that. So what am I? I need you to answer the question. Are you going to timeout? And this time 30 minutes. Because I can't do 15. I can only do 30. You are so. That don't make sense, be actor. You're going in timeout. You gotta go, man. Damn. Oh shit, I forgot. I got mods out here. Yeah, I got mods out here, man. So I forgot. I could tell them to put you in timeout. Sorry, everybody. I forgot. I should have told y'all to put this man in timeout, man. It's I personally, again. Give me a second, everybody. Yeah, he said from 9 years ago. Yeah, he can't answer the question. So yeah, I got to put you. I gave you 10 minutes, but don't worry.
sides that are being given to other groups in our name based on the harms that we suffered, and these people didn't suffer a god dang thing, but you're getting the set asides. And this is what delineation is really about. It's not just a conversational line, or I don't want to be seen as the same as you. No, we, like I said, with the sick child, it is time for us to look at ourselves and how we're going to fix ourselves in the country that we built. You guys are getting foreign aid. President Devine talked about how much foreign aid is coming out this country. Are you guys sharing that with us? No, they're not. Are they, when they have scholarships for Haitians, or scholarships for immigrants, or scholarships for all of these things, are they sharing any of that with us? No, they are not. But at the same time, you guys are getting Juneteenth scholarships? Like, this is the issue. And this is why delineation is absolutely, positively necessary. It's not that I don't like you. I already told you. I got Caribbeans that's close to me like family. Close to me like family. It's not about I don't like you. It's about our birthright and what we deserve, what we have built, what we have fought for, what we deserve in this country, what they owe us. I have said at the reparations hearings that reparations is a debt owed. It is back payment. Since everybody is familiar with that, right? You work a job, they don't pay you. You sue them for what? Back payment. We are suing this government for back pay for services rendered in this country on this soil that, might I add, is drenched in our blood. So we are fighting for our back payment. If you were not here to give the services, or if you were not here as those services were stolen from you, then you do not deserve reparations here. Go elsewhere. Because we know another thing they try to say online is we act like we were the only ones that went through slavery. No, but we are the only ones that went through slavery here in America. So if you did not go through, if your ancestors did not go through slavery here in America, go to that government that enslaved you and get your reparations over there. And when you do, or if you do, I bet you there won't be not near a foundational Black American in your way. As we sit here and have plenty, I'm going to, remember Salages, you stand in our way. That's a Haitian American assemblywoman. She stands in our way. President Devine met with her and told her that that bill was unconstitutional, and you did it anyway. You don't deserve reparations in this country, but you're sitting here and you're making sure that you make our reparations unconstitutional. And this is the problem that I'm talking about.
Lovely.
No, I don't think it's divisive because it's the way of the land. I think when it comes to delineation, I grew up in a lot of parts of New York, specifically Harlem, but then when we moved to the Wakefield section of the Bronx, that's White Plains Road, if anybody knows. If I walked into a Jamaican restaurant and asked for a double, they're gonna look at me like
what?
the fuck if I went into a Jamaican restaurant and asked for tamarind sauce.
What?
They'd be like, go to the Trinidadian restaurant.
One thing I like, and this is just me. I'm glad that they're giving examples of what's going on because New York it's filled with immigrants. Yes, that's an immigrant. Will I say it's an immigrant country? I mean, immigrant state. Somewhat it is, and I have to agree with that. And shout out to the immigrants in New York now because they didn't build New York. New York was built by Black Americans. You know, if anything, if they built anything, they helped build the infrastructures that destroyed a lot of Black communities. You know, so I would say that Black and African American U.S. government let them check our box for resources. We should have our own separate box. Yes, I agree with that, and I think next year that's when they're gonna start it. Gullery. Don't forget they're fixing the census boxes. They're fixing the census boxes. There's gonna be are you like what's this? An African immigrant or a Black immigrant? Then they're gonna say, are you a U.S. American or a Black American? You're gonna see it. I think a lot of that shit got fucked up, and I think that shit played their part in a lot of these people, doing fuckery. So we're fixing it now, and this is my thing with Black. I don't have no real beef with Be Active. I think Be Active not understanding that, like, yo, you can't tell Black Americans of how to be, and you're not Black yourself. That's like me telling niggas who make bacalao, yo, y'all making that fish too salty. Y'all gonna get my legs or fingers cut off eating that fucking bacalao. You know, like it's or or your plantanillas aren't, ain't busting really. So it's very insulting. You be like, yo, who's this nigga? He don't know how to make no plantain. Who's it, plantanillas or whatever y'all call it? Or no bacalao. This nigga don't really know how to make bacalao. Why the fuck is he trying to tell me what to do? You know. And I think with Be Active, he feels like he's entitled to tell Black Americans what to do. Also known as foundational Black Americans. You know, this is why I call him a fucking idiot now, because it's just like, yo, it's coming to a point we can't keep on talking about the same thing. You know, you gotta adapt to time. That African American term is out the window. You keep on holding, nigga. That's like you holding on to old dope, thinking it's gonna still make you money, and niggas is out here doing fentanyl. Real talk. You know, that's all you're doing. You're holding on to something that's not even busting anymore. You know, so yeah.
Because we don't sell that here.
Come on.
And I would have to walk out and respect that shit. If I were to call a Jamaican a Trinidadian, they're gonna fight me. So that's just the Caribbeans alone. Now we're gonna go to the Africans. I used to work in an African hair salon. You want to see a fight? call them African. Group them as one solid thing. I had a young lady, she was 19, called me crying. Lovely, I don't want to hate you. I said, what are you talking about? The owner, she called me a stupid Fulani. I said, why? Because I taught her a braid pattern that I made money off of, that I taught myself. And she told her, you know you're supposed to take advantage of the American, you stupid Fulani. Ooh. So she didn't even identify her as her name. She disrespected her because of her tribe. I think there's a movie called Hotel Rwanda. That's just the Africans. Now we're going to talk about white people. You want to start a fight? Go into an Italian restaurant and call them white. They're going to be like, I'm not white. The hell is wrong with you? Tell somebody from the Ukraine that they white. They're be like, I'm not fucking white. What's wrong with you? And they're going to break it down by their food. So I'm trying to understand why every other culture, every other ethnicity can delineate with food, clothing, language.
Great point.
I wasn't going to go there, but let's talk about the Hispanics. A Hispanic can tell, girl, a Dominican can tell a Dominican from a Puerto Rican by the way they talk.
That's right.
Just certain words that they're using. They could tell if you're Panamanian. And as Black Americans, we just be like, oh, okay. And we don't tell you that you're wrong for that. So now when we're like, okay, we 400 acres mules away from not getting what the
Thanks,
fuck y'all said we
Gallery.
were
I didn't
supposed
know
to
that.
get many eons ago, and we want it now. So now we paying attention. Okay, Jewish people are white. We don't really, y'all are white. But in order to get that money from that Holocaust, you delineated from white American culture and called yourself Jews.
That's right.
Why we can't do that?
Yep.
We're doing it for the purpose of chattel slavery was something that was specifically caused to Black Americans on Black American, Black American soil, as she said, because it's staying with our blood and our hard work.
That's right.
And we ain't get nothing for it.
Nothing.
So I'm pretty sure if we got it back then, because I can't do shit with a horse now. A mule, I can't do shit with that. I don't know what 40 acres in New York City and it's sinking would mean now. So now we got to fight. We have to speak up and say, no, I'm not African. Because guess what? I believe Brooke would know. I think we all know. What's CARICOM? That's for Caribbean, Jamaicans, and whatever specific harms were caused to them over there. We do not go over to other countries and say, I want what you deserve. We go over there and we put money in. We go on vacations and you still treat us like shit. So when we go over there, you delineate against us. So that's why I said it ain't a war. It's just a.
That's why I don't go to other countries. Like foreign, third world, second world countries, I would never go to Africa, and that's one of the reasons why. I don't want to go to another country to be treated like shit, and I'm paying top dollar. Well, I'm good.
Bunch of people on the internet talking shit in our land.
You landed well.
Delineation is not divisive. It's not. Foundational Black Americans, we are out here fighting for our lives. We are out here fighting for our lives, and this is nothing to play with. Everybody, when you look around in New York, right, you got your little Ghana, you got your little Haiti, you got your little Africa, you got the Dominican, the Cuchifritos, you got all of this, right, all of these little enclaves and communities within communities, and they all get to have cultural autonomy. Without question, we don't challenge them or anything. I know I used to go to the Labor Day parade, and I was out there with them. That all of that, you know what I'm saying? Relishing in their culture, and guess what? Took my ass home. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that's how Black Americans are. We're more.
That's why I said Black Americans are the most inclusive people probably in modern day history. You can't name another person like us that is very inclusive, that are very giving, that helps. This is what I'm talking about. I can't go over to Be Active's country and be like, oh, yeah, you know, you need to change this, you need to be changed that. You shouldn't be called Puerto Rican. Y'all should be called something different. I couldn't do that. You know? Now we're gonna watch O'Shea Duke Jackson, and we're gonna get into the Tasha K thing, because I think a Tasha K thing has a lot to actually do with a little bit more about delineation. And like I'm gonna say this about Tasha K. I'm not gonna say I feel bad for her because she talked her way into this situation through emotion. That's why I try not to have emotional conversations. I try to have probably ethical conversations um where we can all agree at a certain page. Once shit start getting emotional, I'll be like, why are you getting emotional? We're just having a conversation. You know, Be Active. He gets emotional a lot. He's very, very emotional. But let's get into it.
They called my husband an African booty scratcher.
In March 2023, Afrobeat superstar Burna Boy had a very powerful interview with this brother by the name
African booty scratch. Like, come on, we can't jump over anything and say, like, yo, the word African booty scratcher is not funny. That shit's hilarious.
of Chaka Bars. And there was something that he said during that interview that really pissed a lot of people off. The Chinese American has a base, he knows he's from China. The Italian American knows where their grandparents came from in Italy. They know the first person from their family to come to America and start that line to make them Italian American. Same goes to everyone.
So Burna Boy don't understand that we can't tell you where in Africa we came from because a lot of those countries are fairly new. This is about being ignorant about your culture. And plus, don't forget, Black Americans has been over here for four to thousands of years. Thousands of years. I think we are older than fucking Star Trek, Star Wars, if you ask me.
Else except the African American.
Damn!
Many people took offense to Burna Boy's assessment, but there was one person who came to his defense.
Why the f are you apologizing for saying that Black Americans need to know where they come from? You do.
For many people, This was not a surprise because Tasha K is married to a brother from Mali, and they have been in that marriage for over 20 years. And although Tasha K deals in what I would consider the Black American commentary or celebrity space, she is a hardcore Pan-Africanist. She believes in working with everybody in all the communities and that the beef between Black Americans and Africans should stop. But
that's why I said it's not gonna stop. It's great. It's honest. Like, I get it. She's being optimistic about it, but that shit ain't gonna stop because of the hatred that Africans have for Black Americans. It's not even hatred. It's envious. It's being envied, having something that they don't have. No, I do want to say jealous, but they're envious of what Black Americans have.
2023, and a lot has changed since 2026.
He's right, you know.
From 2023 to 2026, the talk about delineation from the diaspora has grown exponentially. So much so that the terms #FBA or foundational Black American is being used by mainstream media outlets and big time commentators. We see it all the time. And some of this backlash has come back towards Tasha K because she is married to somebody from Mali. And
Blacks nobody can know good morning. Hey, Rosalind, how is your day going? No, none of that. This is what you guys come over here. You come over here for bullshit. No good morning. I'm asking you a question. There's no good morning.
she would come out and address this on her show.
Here's what I think about the FBA movement and any other movement that has to do with Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite, Dr. Umar Johnson, all of these movements that y'all look up to, all these men, okay?
But the thing about it, those are her community. That's her community. She's a Pan-African. We educated African Americans. You're not African. You're Jamaican. What are you talking about? You're Jamaican. What do you mean African American? Shame on the ghetto FBA. Cool. Well, delineate from Black Americans. Stop calling yourself African American. You're a Caribbean American. You know? And that's not even your culture. What are you talking about? You're from Jamaica. You're from Bikini Bottom, Jamaica, my nigga. Like, what did you say? But you gotta understand, be white Snow Bunny King. Young Pharaoh is a Pan-African. And I know she's talking about Hotop too. The Hotop community and all. Those are Pan-Africans. Those are your people, Black Snow Bunny King. Why are you picking and choosing who is Pan-Africanism? That's your people, Yo, Black Snow Bunny King. Nature Boy's Puerto Rican. He's Puerto Rican and black. He's a Pan-African. There's nothing wrong with it. He's just into some freaky shit. You know?
That, I guess, guides you to help elevate your consciousness.
The first thing that Tasha K attempts to do is to combine the foundational Black American community inside of the conscious community. And if anybody remembers some of the conscious community channels here on YouTube, such as Sodnetter TV, or just any of those channels in the pro-Black space, you would notice one thing, that the conscious community is largely Pan-African, which the foundational Black American community is not. She talked about certain guys like Brother Polite, Dr. Umar, and Young Pharaoh. All of those people are largely in the Pan-African world. And what this really reveals to me is that Tasha K has not either researched or really understood the claims of the foundational Black American community. But she would continue.
Here's what I would say about the FBA movement. It's no different than the KKK. Meant to divide, meant to separate you, to isolate you, to have you looking at other races that look like you and hating them for no reason.
The claim that the foundational Black American movement or the foundational Black American lineage is equivalent to the KKK needs to be addressed very quickly.
That is the same foundation and principles that the Ku Klux Klan build themselves on, which is protecting their whiteness, their pureness, not knowing that they are not pure. It's a lie.
Because the KKK is an organization founded to basically go against democracy, and it did so to enforce a few things. Number
Can you explain how am I a grifter? All of the FBA grifters use Black consciousness. How do we use Black consciousness? Let me ask you a question. You're telling me Pan-Africanism isn't consciousness. What does Dr. Umar call himself? The King Kong of what? Again, let's answer this question, Black Snowbunny King. What does Dr. Umar call himself? The King Kong of what? I rest my case. He's not going to answer the question. That's strike two now.
one, racial apartheid, and then number two, to terrorize Black Americans through certain means, such as lynching, murder, and intimidation. Now, if she wanted to compare the Nationalist Party of South Africa with, F.W. de Klerk in the 80s and 90s, then that would make a whole lot of sense, because the Nationalist Party would be a very good comparison to what you see with the KKK. But the foundational Black American community could not be called that, because it's just simply not true. We don't see any foundational Black American people or movements, or however you want to characterize it.
No. Black Snowbunny King. He is the King Kong of consciousness. The Pan-African Prince, also known as Dr. Umar Johnson. Afimi on the Utu, whatever that nigga call himself. Dr. Umar Amy Fama on the Utu. So, yeah, now y'all want to delineate. This is Black Snowbunny King. This is what you call delineation. You're delineating from Dr. Umar, and he's a Pan-African of consciousness. He's the king of consciousness. Now you want to delineate from him. And it's Umar, not Omar. Y'all see this, everybody. Pay attention. He wants to delineate now. This nigga talk about delineation. Black Snowbunny King. Yeah, you're a piece of shit, my nigga.
Doing anything to Africans or Caribbeans based on the fact that they are Africans or Caribbeans. Can you show me any Black Americans who have lynched any Caribbeans or Africans? Can you show me any Black Americans targeting Africans or Caribbeans to kill them simply because of their ethnicity? Now, intimidation could be one thing that you could talk about, but we don't see any Black Americans intimidating Africans or Caribbeans like the KKK did, because the KKK intimidated Black Americans so that they wouldn't vote or that they wouldn't march or earn their civil rights. So that comparison, in my honest opinion, cannot be.
Yeah, her husband went up to her like, baby, they call me African booty scratcher. What should I do? Oh, no, I'm going to take care of that. Yeah, call her husband an African booty scratcher. That shit gets this shit's getting serious, man. Yeah, that's what happened. I'll take care of it, honey. And she Caribbean. That's the thing. You can't lump us all up. What? Be Active's mad right now. Look at now he want to insult me and harass me because why you mad, Be oh, yo, Black Snowbunny King? Why are you mad? You're Jamaican. This shit ain't got nothing to do with you. You're from the places where you have fun in the sun and drink coconut juice all day, my nigga. Like, come on, you doing good. Facts, Gullery. You're right about that. Yeah, she's about to get one put on her now. That's why she had to apologize. We pulled the small hats move, defamation of character. The whole lineage. Yo, she's about to lose more than just that 4 million. I'm sorry, that 1.3 million. She's about to lose more than that.
Valid.
He's right,
Furthermore, this idea that Africans don't do anything to Black Americans is something that should also be talked about, because it just shows that Tasha K and other people in the Pan-African community are not willing to listen to the claims that people in the Black American community, our hashtag foundational Black American community, have leveraged against the Caribbeans or Africans. And then what you see historically is that Black Americans have largely been supportive of the African community, which is all 54 countries. And we have done that through money. We can go back and talk about Tom Mbuya and the Kenyan airlift experiments in the 50s and 60s. We can talk about when Nelson Mandela came to America in 1990 after he got out of prison, and he went to certain cities like Atlanta, speaking at Morehouse College. He went to Boston, he went to Oakland, he went to Los Angeles, he went to DC, he went to New York, he went to Miami. Within that particular tour, he raised over $5 million from guess who? Black Americans. And furthermore, she's exonerating Africans as if they have no problems. And we know that that cannot be true, because all we got to do is go to South Africa and see what South Africans say about the same African.
Black Snowbunny King, I got to put you in timeout, man. I can't have you be saying this shit on my page, man. Yeah, I can't have you say that shit on my page because, that shit is crazy. Yeah, I got to put you in timeout. I have to give you more than fucking Be Active, my nigga. Yo, you talking too crazy, Be Active. I mean, Snow Money King. I got to give you 30 minutes, player. Yeah, that's crazy, my nigga. Wow, this nigga is nuts. Yeah, you can't say that about nobody's wife, Be Active. I mean, Black Snow Bunny King. Like, I know you like white women and shit like that, and I can't have you talk about that man's wife, talk about his wife was sex trafficked in a mail order. Nah, I can't have you do that, man. That's crazy. And like, if you hate black people, just say you hate Black Americans. That's all. Just say I hate you, Black Americans.
Migrants coming into the country. I mean, we already know what's going on with the Caribbean beefs, with the Jamaicans not wanting the Haitians to come in, or the Bahamians not wanting the Haitians to come in, and vice versa. And as far as being divisive, there is nobody as divisive, in my honest opinion, as the Africans on the continent themselves. I mean, we could even look at Tasha K's husband's home country. And again, he's an individual, and I'm pretty sure he's a great guy. I've heard a lot of nice things about him. But let's talk about being divisive. Mali itself is divisive. How do we know that? In the last 14 years, Mali has exercised not one, not two, but 3 military coups in 2012, in 2020, and in 2021. Let's talk about the 2020 coup. They were in a West African community called ECOWAS, which includes Liberia, which includes Ghana, which includes Nigeria, which includes Senegal, and certain other countries, right? Liberia, Sierra Leone. Guess what Mali did? Well, because they did a military coup overthrowing the current government, they got sanctions. And instead of working it out with ECOWAS, they decided to leave. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger formed the Alliance of Sahel States, also known as AES. So if that's not divisive, I don't know what is. And then Mali itself is full of division. The Northerners versus the South.
And this is what Shabaka supports. This is who Shabaka be talking about when he talks about the AES, the ones who delineated from other Africans. Like real talk. This is who Shabaka be talking about, the ones who delineated from Africa. This is why I said that Pan-Africanism stuff, it doesn't work because they're already separated and divided as it is. You know, they go on tribes. And I just told you about the history of Burkina Faso. The second president in the CIA killed the first president. Then hid his body in an unmarked grave. And they just found that body, I think, like 10 years ago. And that guy been on a run since the second president has been on a run for like, what, 30 years from Burkina Faso. Because they found out he had something to do with it. And don't get me wrong, this Abraham is probably, you know, he's probably I wouldn't say moving, but he is honestly not moving, but he is damn, what's the word? He is probably keeping damn, what was that guy's name? Give me a second. I'm gonna tell you the guy's name who I'm talking about. All right. Just give me 30 seconds. Thomas Sankara. That's his name. Thomas Sankara. This guy, when I say he's a Pan African, he's a real Pan African. He was really actually building um, an infrastructure for Africa. You know, like what these people are talking about now, what these Pan Africans is talking about is what Thomas can what's it? Damn, I always forget this nigga's name. Kinsara was doing. That's what he was doing. This was he was building, and Sankara, and a lot of these Africans now are living off and parasiting off of this man's off of his legacy. I always had a problem with that, and this is why I say Abraham is actually doing what he's supposed to do as president of Burkina Faso. So I have to give him credit for that. But other than that, he delineated from other Africans, though. That's what he did. He told Africans and even the Americans that they can't come to Burkina Faso right now. He went to the white man to get help. But Thomas Sankara, he did all that shit himself. Burkina Faso was popping in the 80s because of Thomas Sankara. So I will say that. I do agree what he did and shout out to him. Even though his best friend, the second president, fucked him over and killed him. And I think he killed him and 12 other people that were supporting the freedom of Burkina Faso. So all the shit that they're doing now is not new. It's old. You know? So I will say that.
Southerners and all of the terrorism that goes on in Mali. And again, that's how Mali gets down. Now, again, Tasha K's husband or people from Mali in America, they could be very great people, right? But this is what happens in Mali. And not only in Mali, on the African continent. There is nobody that I have seen worldwide more divisive than what you see from Africans. And if you think that the people that come from divisive environments come to America and want to unite with Black Americans, it's largely not true.
He's right, you know.
And then she would say this.
Y'all don't put food on my plate? Y'all don't pay none of my bills?
She says that she doesn't work for you. Well, that's a lie because she does. Tasha K cannot get any money in the African continent as far as being monetized. She's a very, very talented creator, but her money comes from the Black American audience or people that live in America. It was so bad that her audience let her know that. Nice T girl, delineation is here to stay. Lorraine Jackson, you still have time to take this post down because you're about to get dragged talking about the most powerful, influential, resilient, spiritual, divine, chosen people in this world. You only feel that way because your husband is African. Way above your pay grade. Stick to gossip. And then the last part.
Y'all sitting in living rooms with bonnets on, causing division because you angry, trying to be accepted no different than a gang on gang crime when you got them little boys in Chicago or any other city taking each other out over what? Just because you look different?
Now, despite Tasha K being a very talented commentator, like I really love what she does and how she does it, she's tier one. I got to give it to her. She's way better than me at this YouTube thing. However, Tasha K engages in a lot of conversations that are not intellectually honest. She participates in what I call whataboutism. So instead of focusing on what foundational Black Americans are saying as far as their grievances with Africans or Caribbeans, she's saying, well, what about what's going on in Black Chicago? Y'all ain't saying nothing about that. Well, really, that has nothing to do with the argument. Nobody is talking about Black Chicago, but if you want to do whataboutism, we can just talk about Mali. For example, Mali is one of the most corrupt countries in the world. And if you were to ask any citizen in Mali, they would love for the opportunity to live in that same dangerous Black Chicago instead of living in Mali. Bribery, embezzlement, and favoritism are widespread. Institutions are weak and accountability is limited. I mean, it ranks in the bottom 25% of the world. And if we're talking about the wages that people are living on per day, well, it's $3.26 per day for a population of over 25 million. And see, that's the reality. And if Mali was so great to unite with, wouldn't have Malians that live in France or in Belgium or anywhere else, because they would be able to unite and they wouldn't have beefs with people in ECOWAS, right? They wouldn't have their own division. And to just categorize Black Americans as being the only divisive group or being the most divisive group is simply not true. Black Americans are probably the most inclusive group on planet Earth. That's why people can come into America and benefit from what Black Americans have fought for and then be included in our stuff. And then once they get in, they become insular. Ever hear of the Somalis? Ever hear of Eritreans? Ever hear from those folks from Djibouti? Ever hear of Nigerians? All of these people who do that all the time, set up their own networks and never really give back to the communities that have helped them become successful. That's exactly what people are talking about. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.
Told y'all. Told you.
I've never hated anybody.
Hold on 1 second. Give me a second, everybody. One of my buttons is stuck on my computer. I'm gonna say this, everybody. This is why a lot of this delineation is good. You know, and I'm gonna say this about Tasha K. I don't think. Do I think Tasha K is wrong? Yes, I think she's wrong for saying that. But at the end of the day, this is why I always tell people all the time. There's certain things I just won't talk about, and that's just me. Um, Most people be like, "Oh yeah, you scared? You don't want to hear the truth." Nigga, save that shit for Myron Gaines, my nigga. That's why Myron Gaines is in the situation that he is right now. That nigga trying to get 30,000 right now. You know, like I don't want to be that type of person where I feel like I have to talk about certain things. There's certain things I just don't talk about. Like I haven't talked about the Mississippi thing where with the little. Well, yeah, I did talk about that. I don't know. There's certain things I just won't talk about. And it's just out of the respect of certain people. You know, I rather leave that to FBAs and let them get busy on it. And I think that's always a great thing to do. Yeah, I always think that's a great thing to do. Is let other people handle it because that's over my pay grade right now because I'm not I'm not lit like other people are when it comes to certain things. But now we're gonna watch the King Flex gets busy and respond to this because I'm gonna say this. Tasha K talked about his wife, and this is why I told B. This is why I had to sit Black Snow Bunny King down. Once you start attacking people's wives and trying to expose people's wives, I have an issue with that. You know, and I'm gonna say this: if you like white women as a black man, do my by all means, do your thing. You just gotta prepare for that. Somebody's gonna lose their culture. That's all I gotta tell you. Somebody's gonna lose their fucking culture. It's not gonna be two cultures in one. Somebody's gonna lose their culture. You know, that's why I always tell people this: if you want more kids, I would tell the men to have an IVF on certain women that you would like, and tell them to bear the kids, and you keep the kids. You mold those kids because women do it all the time. What you think the sperm? What you think the sperm bank is? All you're just telling a woman to do is bear the kids. And you keep the baby. You have them sign a paper that keep the baby and stuff like that. And if you want any what's the word? If you want any if the person who bear the kid wants any connections with the kid, by all means they can, but this is the man's kid. Honestly, before I met my children's mother, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna like a girl. I was gonna fuck with a girl that I like, but I was gonna make her sign a contract where she can bear my kids. We can do IVS. We could have done it natural, and I raise the kid the way how I want to raise the kids without dealing with the woman. The woman wants to be in there. She would have to follow the rules. You know, that's what I was gonna do. It's something new. It's something. What's the word? Uh, it's not really conventional, but yeah, it's different. I was gonna do that before I had my two kids. I was gonna just pay somebody to bear my kids, and I keep the kids and raise it. And I still might do that. Because my kids is mixed, and technically I'm building an empire. My kids, like the things that I have 3 or 4 different empires that I'm growing right now. So my one of my kids might be doing streaming, the other one might be doing indies wrestling, the other one can be doing agriculture. So other one can be doing filming. This is my business. Isn't It's just not all entertainment, media. and filming. I have, other stuff, indies wrestling. I can raise my kid to do that. And like, I just need enough kids, because this is a business. I'm running a business here, and this is what they're gonna benefit off of. They actually got it better than most people. And this is why I always tell people, yo, if you want to get into media, get into media. Because at the end of the day, somebody's gonna have to somebody's gonna lead your legacy. So yeah. But let's get on to this.
An African booty scratcher. They said that I cannot speak on the foundational Black American movement because I'm married to a booty scratcher. Here's what I think about the FBA movement and any other movement that has to do with Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite, Dr. Umar Johnson, all of these movements.
And those are her community. That's her community. That's the Pan African community. Like, I don't get it. Like Tasha K, you can't pick and choose who's a part of the movement of Pan Africanism. You are a Pan Africanist, and you're a Pan African queen. And I will always tell people you are a beautiful woman. And yeah, you gossip about niggas, but yeah, sometimes you're on the side of where the barrel is about to shoot. So this is the time niggas is blasting at you now.
That y'all look up to. All these men, okay, that I guess guide you to help elevate your consciousness. Here's what I would say about the FBA movement. It's no different than the KKK. Meant to divide, meant to separate you, to isolate you, to have you looking at other races that look like you and hating them for no reason.
A few moments later.
To anybody that felt offended by me referring to FBA as the KKK, to anybody that I've offended, I didn't mean to offend you. I'm completely ignorant when it comes to this movement. I just know how I felt when I was attacked, when my family was attacked, and I decided to just, here we go. I want the people that y'all listen to, if they are true educators in this FBA lineage, I want to talk to them.
So y'all know what we have to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We have to talk about the Tasha K situation, ladies and gentlemen. We got to talk about the Tasha K situation. All right? Oh, for those who don't know, and most of you should know by now because it's all over the internet. Oh, it's massively over the internet. It's everywhere. Oh, somebody said, what happened? Okay. Well, Tasha K was doing her broadcast. And for those who don't know, Tasha K is a gossip columnist. She does a lot of gossip. That's her bag. She was infamously in a case with Cardi B. Cardi B sued her, and Cardi B actually won the case. So Tasha owes, how much does Tasha owe Cardi B? Like $4 million or something like that, allegedly? How much does she owe Cardi B? She still owes Cardi B. Some people were saying she was allegedly hiding money in Africa. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. 4.5 million. Damn. Yeah, she's on the hot seat with that paper. But for some reason on her broadcast, I don't know how Foundational Black Americans came up, but yeah, she just kind of went in on the lineage. She just popped on there and just started going in on Foundational Black American lineage. She started talking about FBA is the same thing as the Ku Klux Klan and the KKK. She said it's meant to divide and separate you and isolate you. And she said it encouraged people to look at other Black ethnic groups and hate them for no reason. And everybody was like, what the hell? And there were people calling up, letting her know, hey, that's FBA as a lineage. And she kept trying to frame FBA as an organization. That's a con game, and I'll get on that later. That's a con game. I'll get on that later. Let me play some of the audio of what she was saying. I'll play a little audio of it. Hold on. Just to give you some more context, I'll play the audio. Hold on.
They called my husband an African booty scratcher. They say that I cannot speak on the foundational.
Oh my God! Called her husband an African booty scratcher. So this made you crash out on everybody. This is what made her do the drive by on foundational Black American. You don't know what type of niggas these people are. Niggas has warned other niggas. Why you think niggas be Tasha K? I'ma say this. I hope all this shit was worth it because I heard Dave Anderson is about to go on to Tasha K and explain. Tasha K, you can. I'm gonna say this. I don't think you want Dave Anderson, Tariq Nasheed, Ali, fucking Alpha, especially the shit that you have done. Because right now I know what's going on. You're calling for backup right now just to help. Just you're doing what Vlad did when Vlad was when Vlad was trying to make FBAs look like a fucking cult. And he got that push. He got that little push. He called King Flex like, "Yo, King Flex, he's like, can you come on the show and explain what?" Nigga, I would Vlad. If it was me, and it was with King Flex, I would have gave you nigga prices. I would have gave you nigga prices because at the end of the day, I know what you're using me for. So you know what? I guess I got to get something out of it. And King Flex probably got some good paper out of it, but because of the audience that King Flex brings, But yeah, Tasha K, you fucked up, And I get it. I'm not gonna kick you back all the way in like most people have done, but yeah, it should have never started because some nigga called your husband an African booty scratcher.
Black American movement because I'm married to a booty scratcher.
Now her husband is African, isn't he? Like from Mali or something like that. But her husband is African.
Here's what I think about the FBA movement and any other movement that has to do with Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite, Dr. Umar Johnson, all of these movements that y'all look up to, all these men, okay, that I guess guide you to help elevate your consciousness. Here's what I would say about the FBA movement. It's no different than the KKK. Meant to divide.
Okay, so I'm just giving you an understanding of, that just really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, as it should. Now, her husband, African, and she went on to mention that her children are African too. She has children by this gentleman, from what I understand. Also, did y'all know, let me play this clip of her. Did y'all know this about her? Hold on one second. Let me play this. Hold on. Listen to this.
What do you think about the FBA movement? My kids are African. My grandfather is Bahamian. Knowing that we're Hebrew.
Okay.
That felt offended by me referring to FBA as a KKK.
Wait. So she has Caribbean ancestry. She said her grandfather's Bahamian. She has Caribbean ancestry. So she has Caribbean immigrants in her family with an African husband and African children. So now we see the context. See, context is very important, all right? Context is very important, ladies and gentlemen. All right? See what we say when people have these backgrounds, these non-FBA backgrounds? I wouldn't be surprised if her entire background is non-FBA. Shout out to Black Alpha. He was playing some clips of her, and she was saying something to the effect of being part Latino. She was saying a whole bunch of stuff that she was mixed with. It was Latino, some other stuff. So I'm thinking her whole background might just be Caribbean. Her ethnic background just might be all Caribbean. Yeah, she said something about having a Latino background too. That's interesting. So this is why I'm thinking, this is my conjecture, this is why there's such vitriol towards our lineage. And let's be very clear, this is towards our lineage. And there was a massive backlash when she went on this rant. And there were people calling. Again, it was one sister, FBA sister, called and was breaking the shit down real heavily, real easily, making a lot of sense. And Tasha was still insisting on trying to refer to our lineage as an organization. That was deliberate. Now, because of the backlash, listen, the backlash was massive. She was getting cooked. Tasha was getting cooked on every platform, on her comments, on Twitter, on Facebook, TikTok. She's getting cooked. From what I'm understanding, allegedly, she lost like 30,000 subscribers in 24 hours. This is what some people are reporting. That subscriber list started to go down. People started unsubscribing, allegedly. Yeah, somebody said she lost 30,000 subscribers. Oh, it's heavy. So eventually, the heat got so hot, she had to come out and make an apology video, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, let me play some of the apology, just a little bit. She had to apologize, and the apology was a little dry because she was still later on in her apology kind of talking about, if I would like to talk to some FBA members and they can sit down, and she was still doing that false framing. But hold on, let me play some of the apology.
To anybody that felt offended by me referring to FBA as the KKK, to anybody that I've offended, I didn't mean to offend you. I don't do that. I want any and everybody to be up in here having a good time. Lately, on social media, given the Nolan Wells situation, I mean, just any and everything that has to do with our culture, our people, Blacks as a whole, for some reason, I have been dragged into these conversations.
Okay, so she's just kind of explaining right there. Okay. So listen, one of the biggest problems with this is where some of the big backlash is coming from. And Tasha, if you're listening, and she didn't mention my name, which was good. All right, so I'm being respectful. I'm having a respectful retort here. All right. The problem is trying to reframe our lineage deceptively. We know Foundational Black American is a lineage designation. It is not an organization of people that you sign up for. Everybody knows that, including Tasha. Tasha K knows this. There are no headquarters. There's no membership cards. There's no president. There's no leader at all. Repeatedly trying to frame our lineage as a group or an organization that's deliberately being disrespectful. By creating a fake organization that you're going to frame as FBA, critics like that, they create a straw man that they can attack instead of dealing with the lineage. When you acknowledge Foundational Black American lineage, then you're going to have to deal with actual history, slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow. You're going to have to deal with the history, Black American institutions, culture. But if you try to redefine our lineage as an organization, you just say, well, that group is hateful. That organization is divisive. You see? So you invent your own political club so you can attack it as a proxy. You see, because you're still attacking the lineage. You're just using this fake group as a proxy. She what? Did she what? I didn't see her mention my name. I didn't hear her mention my name. She did mention me? Okay, I didn't know she mentioned me.
Yeah, she
Okay. She said what? What'd she say about me? Okay, I didn't know she mentioned my name. I didn't hear that. Okay.
I heard it.
Okay. I didn't hear her mention my name. Okay. I didn't see that. Man. Yeah, I didn't see that part. She babbled my name at the end. Did she try to say my wife was white? Did she say, okay, I got to hear. I didn't hear that. So she's lying about that. Okay, well now that's all right. Let me see. Hold on. What's that? I'm looking at the comments. She said my wife was half white. Oh, okay. All right. She said my wife was half white. Oh, okay. I didn't see that one, but I'll look back at it. All right. I will look back at that. Okay, I didn't hear, but I'll look back at it. But again, I'm just gonna keep it scholarly. I'm still gonna keep it scholarly because we're explaining what this backlash is. She said my wife was white and Asian. Okay, so she's a liar. Okay. Well, that's what she got sued for, lying. Okay. All right, so we kind of understand. Okay. I mean, okay. I mean, she's a gossip columnist and
Told you.
she has a non-FBA background, and we know how a lot of these people lie. All right? We know how a lot of people damn lie. All right? And that whole thing where you want to collapse the KKK, all that. The KKK is an actual organization with founders, leaders, chapters, political objectives. FBA is the lineage. Ain't no chapters. So trying to compare our lineage to the KKK, she's trying to do a sleight of hand. You see? And this is a problem with a lot of the gossip media as we know it. A lot of the gossip media, the black gossip spaces, these people promote a lot of black dysfunctions. Notice these gossip pages keep up a lot of bullshit within black culture. And these people are generally from foreign backgrounds, just like Tasha. All right? People have been calling this out for years. These tethers who run these gossip blogs, they're not of our culture, but they come in and profit off of promoting dysfunctional underbelly of our society. You see? Shade Room, Bossip, Media Takeout, World Star, Tasha K. All of these people have African and Caribbean ancestry. You understand? And there is a lot of vitriol that they have towards foundational Black American society. They've always had this vitriol towards foundational Black American society. And we've been pointing out these gossip blogs for years. Yeah, the griot, they will sit here and show the underbelly of Black American society, but anything that has to do with Caribbeans or Africans is always elevated. They always show the most positive images that they can cherry pick. And that's not an accident. And they have been doing that for a long time. You see? And that immigrant background gossip media, they've always had that double standard. They sit up here and denigrate Black American celebrities and just Black society as a whole. And the minute foundational Black Americans clap back at them and their lineage and their ethnicity, all of a sudden, oh, we can't be divisive. Oh, this is divisive. Oh, we can't be divisive. Natasha K, because some of that, I don't really listen to her because I saw her one time denigrating Jay-Z and Beyonce's children. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah,
You start denigrating foundational Black American kids and all that. I don't respect that at all. So I've seen, I don't respect that type of shit.
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah, Flacco knows better. Flacco does that too. Flacco tries to deliberately reframe.
I said the same thing. Too. I said I had a problem with Black Snow Bunny King bringing up people's wives and kids and shit. Once you start doing that, I have an issue with that. That's why I had to sit him down, man. Yeah, you can't do that.
Our lineage as an organization, and Flacco knows better. He's Liberian. Again, you see the tether class doing that. That ain't an accident. That's not an accident. When they try to deliberately reframe our lineage, they try to create a straw man by deliberately labeling a multi-generational lineage as a group or a club. They want to create a convenient target. Ain't no membership list, none of that. Hey, there's no group. So that's a way for them to attack our lineage by proxy. They're still attacking our lineage. Understand that? And they act ignorant like they don't know. Like Tasha was like, I don't know. I'm still learning. I would like to talk to some FBA members to just bring. That's cap, dude. That's all cap. Several people were calling her, telling her, Tasha, this ain't no group, sweetie. This is a lineage. FBA is a lineage. It's not a hate group or none of that shit. And she, this organization, yeah, that's not an accident. Now, if you acknowledge the truth, that would dismantle your whole premise of your commentary. You see? And the thing is, creating this straw man organization, you won't be labeled as xenophobic by attacking the lineage, because that's what you really want to attack. That's what you're attacking.
Facts.
You see? They know that's your audience, really. Those are the people that's paying your bills by watching you. So you know you can't just outright attack the audience based on their lineage, but you have vitriol towards them. So you create a straw man to attack as a proxy. You see? That's the same thing the white supremacists did when they were going around here talking about, oh, I can't stand Black Lives Matter. Oh, Black Lives Matter, they're the worst. Black Lives Matter, a bunch of criminals. Okay, who are you talking to? Who's Black Lives Matter? Who's Black Lives Matter?
Be Active did the
Because you're not
same
talking about the
thing.
organization with the three.
Be Active did the same thing, and that's why I told Be Active, just say you don't like black people. Just say you don't like black Americans. You try to hide your racism behind a lineage, the FBA foundational black Americans. You try to hide it under a different name. You still hate black people. You know? So yeah.
Women, are you talking about them? No, just Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter it was just a hashtag. Black Lives Matter was just really it wasn't a real thing. You know what I'm saying? It was really just a hashtag. But they attacked the hashtag as a proxy for attacking black people as a group. So when these people who are not of the lineage sit here and try to attack foundational Black American as a group, logically, that's impossible. You know why? There is no group. You're not attacking air. Ain't no group called Foundational Black Americans. Ain't no leader of no. I'm damn sure not a leader. No matter how many times they lie, they know that. Ain't no damn leader. If there is no group, there is no ideology. FBA is just a lineage. Yeah? You see? And if they're attacking foundational Black Americans and they're trying to act like they're attacking some fake group, that's a con game. They're attacking 50 million of all of us.
I said that to Be Active.
All right?
Leave the family out of it.
That's what that is. And a lot of
Facts.
people are looking at the timing of it. I saw a brother who made a video about Tasha K. He was like theorizing, hey, she ain't that dumb. Somebody theorized that this is like right before the elections. And some people theorize that them folks might have sent her and others to come out here and try to throw salt on the lineage right before the election to try to delegitimize it. You see? Because we know there's a threat of foundational Black American political independence.
Facts.
So we know that there have been intelligence agencies and others trying to undermine our lineage and undermine our delineation. So they'll deploy some of their compromised proxies. See, institutions, they cannot directly attack the grassroots because it will expose their hand and it will galvanize us even more. So they'll use compromised proxies. So the theory is that a lot of the political operatives, they'll look for online personalities and gossip bloggers and people like that who are heavily leveraged. They need money. They got some type of massive legal or financial judgment. They find somebody who's kind of vulnerable, and that person can be easily bought off, can't they? You see? You give somebody a little something if they got a big, yeah, somebody who got a $4 million judgment against them, they're pretty vulnerable. You know, not saying, I'm just theorizing here, not accusing nobody of anything. So these people will say to them, hey man, use your platform to pump out some anti-FBA rhetoric out here. You know, digital COINTELPRO is alive and well. Digital COINTELPRO is very real. And you see, as we all see, people always try to discredit our delineation.
Facts.
You see? The problem is it's failing. And these people are shocked because of the backlash, because they're underestimating the reach of this grassroots. You understand? Foundational Black Americans, they've developed a very highly advanced digital immune system. You can smell a political operative or paid disruptor from a mile away. You can tell now. The minute somebody come around on some paid disruptor shit, you already know. You can feel their vibe. You get them up out of there. You see, when somebody suddenly pivots their content to launch some unprovoked attack right before the election on our lineage, there's something is funny style going on. Something funny style is going on. And people, there's some folks out here who are underestimating the reach of this delineation. See, the tethers get online and talk about, the FBA is just some shit online, nigga. It is just something on TikTok. It is a small internet group. Yeah, you let these uncharismatic tethers psych you out. No, you don't. Yeah, you miscalculate the magnitude of the FBA grassroots.
Facts.
You buy into some fake illusion that you're going to try to frame 50 million people into some small internet group. That ain't it. People always miscalculate that. You shocked as hell. You try to throw something out there and then there's a wave that hits you back. This FBA delineation movement right now, this is the most powerful cultural and political force in the country right now. This is why all eyes are on foundational Black Americans. This delineation is very powerful. Yeah? The Democrats learned that last election. They underestimated the FBA grassroots. Cost them the election. Yeah, because there's nobody to attack. You can't attack some center group. That don't exist. We're talking about 50 million people who are all on code. So you don't know who's going to clock your bullshit. You see? People learn the hard way. This is not a joke. That's why Vlad, not too long ago, Vlad, and me and Vlad are cool, but Vlad had said something kind of slick about foundational Black Americans. I don't know. He was having a conversation with somebody and he said something kind of slick about foundational Black Americans and the backlash hit him heavy. It hit him very heavy. He said something.
I just said that too. I was like, yo, Vlad felt that heat, man. For y'all gotta understand, there's different heats. There's small hats heats, there's LGBTQIA heat, and then there's foundational Black American. He's also known as Black Americans. When you got heat with Black Americans, there's a problem because you got to understand Black Americans are inclusive and supportive people. 50 million of us. Not all of us will be inclusive, but most of us will. Look how y'all got to understand. Look how the Democrats have been surviving for the last 80, 90 years. They've been surviving off of Black American inclusiveness. So that's it. That's all. Now Black Americans have put a stop to that, and they're feeling it.
Very slick. And then that's why he wanted me to come on and he had to apologize. He's like, I just wanted to apologize. I wanted to have you here while I'm apologizing to everybody. You had to apologize. Yeah. He had to apologize for that because he saw where that shit was going. Yeah, he saw where it was going. It's not a game out here. This ain't some bullshit on no internet, man. Ain't no leader. That's the thing. Y'all whining about a non-existent group. Y'all sitting up here playing with yourself. Listen, there's 50 million foundational Black Americans out here. That's the reality of it. People, it's kind of scary to deal with that massive movement. You understand? People getting on code. When we talk about foundational Black Americans, we're only talking about one thing: the 50 million people whose ancestry traces back to the beginning of this country. So finding one or two people to whine about, that's not going to do anything. You just throwing furniture. You understand? And there's economic consequences for disrespect now. People are seeing, hey, you say something crazy and immediately you lose 30,000 subscribers in 24 hours. Yeah, that's not small potatoes.
Yeah, that's
That shows that, yeah, delineation is not just a hashtag.
serious.
That can become an economic force. Yeah. And we see that strategic reframing to try to hide your anti-FBA sentiment. A lot of these people with these immigrant backgrounds, they harbor this crazy anti-FBA sentiment. And they'll stubbornly refer to our lineage as an organization, all that. So they try to, that's to give themselves plausible deniability. Because if they admit that what we really are, a multi-generational ethnic group that traces to the beginning of this country, your attacks on us look just like what it is: hateful xenophobia. But if you say, well, it's just a group, you can attack our heritage under the guise of critiquing some organization. That's a deliberate manipulation tactic where you can denigrate our history while trying to keep your hands looking clean. Flacco does that, and Flacco knows better. Flacco the Liberian, he knows better. He tries that, and
Nigga called him Flacco the Library.
me and Flacco have sat down many, many times. This is why I know he's full of shit and he acts like an op when he does that. And I know you're listening, Flacco. Flacco, you have sat your rhino hunting hips down in front of me several times for hours. You know exactly what foundational Black American is. You know it's a lineage, and you know it ain't no damn group. You know that. You go out here doing that op tether shit, and you get called out as you should for that. You get called out as you should. Let's be very clear. These people with these tethered backgrounds who try to undermine us in their blogs all the time, all they do is gossip about the hood and all that stuff. It's the same thing. They curate the headlines and all this stuff to really mock our culture, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a cash cow for engagement for these people. And it's always been a one-way street of disrespect. We, foundational Black Americans, for years, we've been the ones uplifting Africa, uplifting the image of the Caribbean. We've done that. But what do? They come over here and start talking about hood fights, crime in Chicago. They come and capitalize off the underbelly of the society. They do that all the time. They don't do that to their culture. The minute you talk about their culture, oh, y'all like, oh shit, y'all worked in the KKK. Fuck out of here. The hell out of here. They're the main ones talking about we're divisive, and they spent decades denigrating us like damn parasites. You know? And just like Tasha K, she has built a platform being disrespectful by lying on people, gossiping about people, talking about foundational Black American entertainers' children, all just denigrating everybody. False information about people. And then when somebody throws an insult at her African husband, all of a sudden, oh God, y'all is worked in the KKK. I'm all about Black solidarity. Black solidarity? Really? Your blog ain't about no damn Black solidarity?
Yeah, I gotta agree with King Flex. It isn't, Tasha. You make money off of the degeneracy of Black people. So I'm gonna be personally honest. I have never seen you do this to a white man. I have never seen you do this to an African. You know, and I'm gonna say this: you do Caribbean degeneracy too. Didn't you have like Gucci Third Legs girl who he allegedly gave HV was it HVS to or HSV to? HSV, I think it's called, I believe. Allegedly, he gave that, and it's a form of herpes. So, Tasha K, didn't you have what's his name? Didn't you have Soldier Boy's alleged mistress, boy toy up there, the little white boy? So, like Tasha, what's going on? Like, nigga called your husband an African booty scratcher, and and you think you can get you think you're supposed to get special treatment? Nah, I don't think life is good. Just thinking about it, Tasha, shit don't work like that.
You run a business model on undermining foundational Black Americans, and then want to hide behind the shield of Pan African solidarity when everybody starts clapping back. You see? But yeah, there's an awakening, man. And the foundational Black Americans have disrupted that whole business model.
Yeah, that shit's no joke.
And people are terrified because of that awakening. You see? We allow these people to sit in our house, eat our food, disrespect us to the world, and they haven't faced any real consequences. Now that we have delineated, we're more economically astute, economically aware, culturally aware. We are defending our lineage. So that old business model is bleeding. You see? And they're upset because they will not be able to just sit here and denigrate us for free continuously. And just, we're calling out that whole straw man con game when they try to shrink our lineage into some four-wall organization. You see? They're trying to, I call that backdoor denigrating.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it. What I'm talking about. Everybody's like, no, nigga, you talking about all of us and we see you, because ain't no damn group. There is no group. You can't make up a group and attack some group that don't exist. You're talking about all of us and we see it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting called out for that. Because foundational Black Americans are collectively too smart and too politically astute to fall for that proxy con game.
Mm.
You see, we know how to read the room. We know how to read between the lines. We see what it is. We see the sleight of hand, and they're mad that we're calling it out. You see? And that whole Tariq, well, FBA, these just the people who follow Tariq. That con game is falling too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a failed con game, because that's not what FBA is. Foundational Black American does not mean who follows me. You're either born into it or you're not. You cannot follow your own ancestry.
Mm.
You understand? These people are terrified of our delineation because they cannot siphon off of us like they used to, and they can't hide behind us and hide their failures behind us and then delineate when they get a win. You see? They don't want to admit that this is a nationwide grassroots awakening of an entire ethnic group. That's massive. And they don't need us to be on that vibe. They need us to be thinking that we are generic Africans. So they can benefit from everything that we do, while then turning around telling us we ain't got no culture, because everything we do culturally, we have to chop it up to them. Family, you know what it's like the Olympics. It's like the Olympics. You know, they want us to be on the Olympic team with them. It's like the Olympic basketball team. With the Olympic team, they want us to play for the whole country, basically. We're playing for the whole country. We're playing the Olympic team for the whole country. And usually it's just one group of people doing all the heavy lifting. But all of these other people who are kind of who's slower, with lack of skill. They're not as thorough, but just because they're on the team, whenever the team wins, they win. You know what I'm saying? Just like when they had the Olympic team. Remember they had, what year was that? They had Jordan, Magic, Rodman. It was like a super damn team. They were just
I think 92.
whooping everybody. So some of the other players, it was some other players on there, but you don't remember who they were. So they like the Olympic team when there's one group doing the heavy lifting on the team. There's always that one player who's kind of doing, the dream team. Yeah, they want an Olympic team so they can benefit off the wins that one of the main players is doing. There's one main person or a couple of main people carrying the whole team. They like that. Now, when the Olympics is over and the team disaggregates, now it's an individual team. Everybody goes back to their respective teams. Now we see who's really thorough and who's not. Now we see who's thorough. So now the star player on the Olympic team, he's playing on his own team and he's winning. We're showing that he has a lot of numbers on the board, and all these other people who was on the Olympic team, they ain't getting no numbers individually. That's what we're seeing with delineation, ladies and gentlemen. We, as Foundational Black American, we've been the star player under this generic African shit. We were the star players, ladies and gentlemen, winning for everybody, and these bench warmers were benefiting, basking in the glory, and then turning around telling us we didn't have a culture because every win was going to the whole team, and they were acting like the damn team captains because they were directly from Africa. We were like, we're generic Africans, but we're the real Africans, nigga. So we're the team captains. So everything we do comes from Africa. Every win is a win for Africa. Okay. So when we delineate, now all the winning players are over here on team FBA. All right? And now you got a bunch of bench warmers on the other side who ain't putting nothing on the board. We're the captains now. Like, oh shit. Well, we must get together. We must be a team. We cannot delineation is wrong, nigga. Oh, no. So yeah, we're seeing that these other folks can't put nothing on the board. That's where all of this whining and stuff is coming from. You see? Yeah, we didn't cut the umbilical cord. So yeah, they need us on the team because they don't have no wins. Nowhere. Yeah? Very interesting. So yeah, this whole thing of, oh, it's Tariq. Tariq is doing this shit. Ain't nobody falling for that. Nobody's falling for that. That con game is done. You're trying to remix our lineage, trying to blame it on one guy's followers. No, that don't work. And ain't nobody buying that. And people see the con game for what it is. You see? Let me get some of the family on here, because we got a lot of folks on here. Shout out to the family. Let's get the family in here. Where you at, fam? Raise your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we're emancipated. Now, everybody wants to be FBA. Now, yeah, everybody's half FBA and all that. And then they want to play dumb about the name. Well, in 200 years ago, wasn't nobody saying FBA. Wasn't nobody saying FBA in the 1800s. You didn't need to say it in the 1800s. You didn't need to say it because we were the only damn black people. You understand that? There's a lot of shit that wasn't said in the 1800s. Yeah, it was just really us over here, us and the Europeans. And the natives, that was some of us too. That was some of us too. You understand that? And truth be told, a lot of folks don't know this. Between 1790 and 1860, Did y'all know they didn't even have a category on the census for Indians? They didn't have a category for India. That's why I say it was only us. It was only us and the Europeans on the census. Did y'all know that? Oh, can I break some shit down real quick? Y'all didn't know that? Between 1790, y'all look at category, right? But they didn't put them on the census of what they in family. When you look on your lineage record,
Actually, everybody, I'm about to land right here. I actually got a meeting to go to after. I'm gonna say this. This is why everybody's mad about delineation. Everybody's trying to turn. People are trying to distract other people with other problems about delineation. Delineation has a problem because not everybody's gonna win anymore. There's only gonna be certain people winning. Be active can't benefit off of it. Black Snow Bunny can't benefit off of it. Dorsey's Black American. Um, just everybody who's not Black American can't benefit off of Black Americans' achievements anymore. So it's time for y'all to get y'all shit together. But now, let me give my shout outs because we're almost about to hit the 3 hour mark. Shout out to Gullery. Shout out to Fresh Always, B Actor, FBA Convo, Ray, Osto Gray, and Monster McFly. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for coming on the show. And I will see you tomorrow for we're gonna talk about something a little bit different. We'll be talking about Ellis Island babies. So shout out to y'all, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Have a good one.